Hello and welcome back. I'm glad you found your way here again tonight. There's nothing you need to do right now except settle in and let your body grow heavy against the bed. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts loosen their grip on the day, the way a hand slowly opens. Tonight we're drifting deep into the jungles and lake cities of ancient Mesoamerica, where the Maya charted the stars with startling precision, and the Aztecs built a shimmering capital rising straight out of open water. Some of what you hear tonight may surprise you. Some of it may simply settle over you like warm jungle air, familiar and strange all at once. If any of this helps you unwind, consider subscribing to Drowsy with Facts so you can drift off with us again soon. For now, let's begin. The Maya civilization flourished across a vast stretch of Central America for well over 2,000 years, developing sophisticated writing, mathematics, and astronomy long before many other advanced civilizations arose elsewhere in the world. Maya society wasn't a single unified empire, but rather a network of independent city-states, each ruled by its own king, sometimes cooperating through trade and marriage alliances, and sometimes warring with one another over territory and resources. The Maya developed one of the only fully realized writing systems in the ancient Americas, combining symbols representing whole words with others representing individual syllables. A sophisticated hybrid system, unlike anything else in the region. For centuries, the same Maya script remained largely undeciphered, and it was only through decades of patient, dedicated scholarship that researchers gradually unlocked its meaning, revealing detailed historical records, royal genealogies, and accounts of wars between rival cities. Maya astronomers tracked the movements of the sun, moon, and Venus with astonishing precision, and their careful, long-term observations allowed them to calculate the length of the solar year with an accuracy that rivals many modern calculations. The Maya developed multiple overlapping calendar systems used simultaneously, one tracking a 260-day sacred cycle and another following the standard solar year, together forming an elaborate combined calendar that repeated only once every 52 years. Maya mathematics included the concept of zero as a genuine placeholder value, developed independently of similar concepts arising elsewhere in the ancient world, reflecting a level of mathematical sophistication well ahead of much of contemporary Europe. Maya cities featured towering stepped pyramids topped with small temples, and certain pyramids were built with such careful astronomical alignment that shadows cast during specific times of year created striking, deliberate visual effects along their staircases. The Maya practiced a distinctive ritual ball game played in specially built stone courts, combining athletic competition with deep religious and cosmological significance tied closely to Maya mythology and beliefs about the underworld. Maya rulers commissioned detailed stone monuments recording their reigns, military victories, and important ceremonial dates, carved with a precision that allows modern scholars to reconstruct detailed timelines of individual dynasties. Many of the greatest Maya cities were mysteriously and gradually abandoned centuries before European contact, and historians believe a combination of prolonged drought, warfare, and overtaxed farmland likely contributed to this slow, staggered decline. Maya farmers developed sophisticated agricultural techniques suited to their tropical environment including raised fields and carefully managed water systems designed to support dense populations, despite occasionally unpredictable rainfall. The Maya built extensive networks of paved causeways connecting important buildings and even neighboring cities, facilitating both ceremonial processions and practical everyday travel and trade. Maya artisans crafted intricate jade jewelry and ceremonial objects, and jade held such profound spiritual and material value within Maya culture that it was often considered even more precious than gold. Cacao, the source of modern chocolate, held deep ceremonial and economic importance in Maya society, consumed as a bitter, spiced beverage, and even used in bean form as a kind of currency for trade. Maya scribes, highly respected specialists, trained extensively in reading and writing the complex script, held privileged positions within royal courts, responsible for maintaining historical records and composing important texts. The Maya believed deeply in a layered cosmic structure, with the world of the living positioned between an underworld reached through caves and cenotes, and a heavenly realm associated with the sun, moon, and stars above. Cenotes, natural sinkholes exposing groundwater through collapsed limestone, held profound sacred significance for the Maya, sometimes used for ritual offerings believed to connect directly to the underworld itself. Maya artistic traditions produced remarkably detailed painted murals and pottery depicting royal ceremonies, mythological scenes, and everyday life with a level of narrative detail that continues informing modern understanding of Maya culture. Far to the north, centuries after many great Maya cities had already declined, the Aztec civilization began to rise, eventually building one of the most powerful and expansive empires in pre-Columbian Mesoamerican history. According to Aztec legend, their ancestors were guided by a prophecy to build their capital city at the exact spot where they would see an eagle perched on a cactus devouring a snake, a vision they eventually found on a small island within a lake. That same capital city, built directly upon the surface of a lake, grew into one of the largest cities in the world at the time, connected to the surrounding shore by several wide causeways and crisscrossed internally by canals. The Aztec capital's dense population was fed partly through an ingenious agricultural technique, building small artificial islands from layered mud and vegetation anchored to the lakebed, remarkably productive plots capable of yielding multiple harvests each year. Aztec society was organized around a powerful central authority, and the Aztec emperor held enormous religious and political power, believed to serve as a crucial link between the human world and the realm of the gods. The Aztecs worshipped an extensive pantheon of gods, and one particularly significant deity associated with the sun and war required irregular offerings believed necessary to ensure the sun continued rising each morning. Another major Aztec deity, the feathered serpent god, was associated with wind, learning, and the priesthood, and legends describing his eventual return would later become entangled with the arrival of Spanish conquistadors. Aztec religious practice included elaborate ceremonies and offerings, and major temples in the capital were dedicated to multiple gods simultaneously, their towering stepped structures dominating the city's skyline. The Aztecs maintained a sophisticated system of tribute, requiring conquered territories to regularly provide goods, food, and labor to the central empire, a practical economic structure supporting the capital's enormous population and ambitious building projects. Aztec merchants, known as Pochteca, traveled extensively across and beyond the empire's borders, trading goods and also serving occasionally as informal scouts and diplomats gathering valuable information for the emperor. The Aztec calendar, closely related to earlier Mesoamerican systems, including those developed by the Maya, combined a solar year with a separate sacred calendar, together forming a repeating cycle used to schedule religious festivals and important ceremonies. Aztec craftsmen produced remarkably fine featherwork, carefully assembling brilliantly colored feathers from tropical birds into elaborate ceremonial garments, shields, and headdresses reserved for nobility and important religious occasions. Education held genuine importance in Aztec society, and both boys and girls attended formal schools, though the specific curriculum differed depending on social class and the particular path a child was expected to follow into adulthood. Aztec warriors who displayed exceptional bravery and skill in battle could earn membership in elite military societies, each associated with a particular animal and distinctive ceremonial dress reflecting their earned status. The Aztec Empire's rapid expansion relied on a combination of military conquest and strategic alliance, and the empire itself was actually governed through a formal alliance between three major city-states rather than a single unified authority alone. Aztec society maintained detailed legal codes governing behavior, property, and social conduct, with specific consequences established for various offenses, reflecting a genuinely organized approach to justice and civic order. The Aztecs developed a sophisticated system of picture-based writing, combining symbols to record historical events, tribute records, and genealogies, though it functioned somewhat differently from the more fully phonetic Maya script. Markets held throughout the Aztec Empire, including an enormous central marketplace in the capital, drew thousands of visitors daily, offering an extraordinary range of goods from distant regions, alongside everyday local produce and crafts. Spanish chroniclers who witnessed this same central marketplace firsthand described it in their own writings as larger and more organized than many contemporary European markets they were familiar with. Aztec medicine combined herbal knowledge with religious and spiritual practice, and Aztec healers maintained detailed knowledge of local plants and their believed medicinal properties, some of which modern researchers continue to study today. The Aztec sunstone, an enormous and intricately carved circular monument, depicted complex cosmological and calendrical imagery, reflecting the deep connection between timekeeping and religious belief throughout Aztec society. Aztec poetry and philosophy explored surprisingly reflective themes about the impermanence of life and the fleeting nature of earthly beauty and power, composed by rulers and scholars alike within the imperial court. The Maya ball game, played across the wider Mesoamerican region, including areas later controlled by the Aztecs, involved players striking a solid rubber ball using their hips, forearms, or other body parts without the direct use of hands. Rubber itself, harvested from a native tree, was processed by Mesoamerican civilizations for various practical and ceremonial purposes considerably before rubber's properties became widely known and utilized elsewhere in the world. Aztec society placed considerable value on discipline and self-control, and children were raised according to fairly strict, structured expectations intended To prepare them thoroughly for their adult roles within the empire, Maya rulers were believed to serve as intermediaries between their people and the divine realm, personally responsible for maintaining cosmic balance through carefully performed rituals and ceremonies. The ancient Maya city of Tikal grew into one of the most powerful and influential city-states within the wider Maya world. Its towering temple pyramids rising dramatically above the surrounding jungle canopy. Maya trade networks extended across a considerable portion of Mesoamerica, exchanging goods including jade, obsidian, feathers, and cacao between different city-states and even distant civilizations. Obsidian, a naturally occurring volcanic glass, was highly valued throughout Mesoamerica for crafting exceptionally sharp blades and tools, traded extensively by both the Maya and later the Aztecs. Aztec architecture incorporated elaborate stone carving throughout temples and public buildings, depicting gods, historical events, and symbolic imagery integral to Aztec religious and political identity. The Maya developed sophisticated water management systems, including reservoirs designed to capture and store rainwater through seasonal dry periods, essential engineering supporting their densely populated cities. Aztec society recognized several distinct social classes, ranging from nobility and priests to commoners, merchants, and enslaved individuals, each occupying a defined position within a carefully structured social hierarchy. The Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire, beginning in the early 16th century, unfolded rapidly, aided considerably by alliances Spanish forces formed with rival indigenous groups who had their own long-standing grievances against Aztec rule. Maya civilization, despite the decline of its great classical cities, never fully disappeared, and Maya peoples and their descendants continue living throughout the region today, preserving language, tradition, and cultural identity across many centuries. Aztec featherworkers and goldsmiths produced objects of such extraordinary craftsmanship that European observers who first encountered them expressed genuine astonishment at the skill and artistry involved. The Maya calendar's long count system allowed for tracking dates across enormous spans of time, extending mathematically far into both the past and future, reflecting a sophisticated approach to chronology rare among ancient civilizations. Aztec religious ceremonies were closely tied to their agricultural calendar, with specific rituals performed to help ensure successful harvests, adequate rainfall, and the continued favor of the gods governing natural cycles. Maya cities incorporated ball courts prominently into their ceremonial architecture, often positioned near major temples, reflecting the ball game's deep religious rather than purely recreational significance. The Aztec Triple Alliance's capital eventually grew to support a population estimated at well over 200,000 people, making it one of the largest and most densely populated cities anywhere in the world at that time. Maya artisans working with stucco created elaborate decorative facades on major temples and palaces, some retaining traces of their original vivid paint, even after many centuries of exposure to the jungle environment. Aztec society valued oral tradition alongside their pictorial writing, and trained historians and orators were responsible for memorizing and publicly reciting important historical and genealogical accounts. The Quetzal bird, prized throughout Mesoamerica for its brilliant green tail feathers, held such significance that harming one was sometimes considered a serious offense, and feathers were instead carefully harvested from live birds. Maya astronomers built specialized structures specifically aligned to track the rising and setting positions of the Sun and Venus across the year, functioning effectively as precise, purpose-built astronomical observatories. The Aztec Empire maintained an extensive network of roads and runners, allowing messages and fresh goods, including seafood destined for the imperial court, to travel remarkably quickly across considerable distances. Maya society was far from purely peaceful, and warfare between rival city-states was common, often motivated by competition for resources, prestige, or control over important trade routes. The Aztec capital's central religious complex featured twin temples built atop a single massive pyramid, one dedicated to the god of sun and war, and the other to the god of rain and agriculture, reflecting the dual importance of both warfare and farming to Aztec survival. Modern excavations beneath the streets of Mexico City have uncovered remarkable remains of this same central temple complex, offering archaeologists direct physical access to a site once thought permanently lost beneath centuries of later construction. The Aztec rain god, closely associated with fertility and agricultural success, was honored through dedicated ceremonies intended to secure adequate rainfall, reflecting the very real anxiety a heavily agricultural society held toward unpredictable weather. Aztec religious practice, like many ancient belief systems, included ritual offerings intended to sustain the gods and maintain cosmic balance, and captives taken during warfare sometimes played a role within these same solemn ceremonial practices. Certain conflicts fought by the Aztec Empire, sometimes called flower wars, were conducted under semi-formal, mutually understood rules between rival states, serving military training and political purposes alongside their religious significance. Some of the most spectacular Maya cities still standing today include one built with a dramatic stepped pyramid whose staircase, on specific days of the year, catches the setting sun in a way that creates the illusion of a great serpent slithering down toward the earth. Another major Maya city, nestled dramatically among forested hills, became renowned for its exceptionally refined artistic and architectural style. Its delicate stone carving, considered among the finest produced anywhere in the Maya world. Deep within the pyramid of yet another significant Maya city, archaeologists discovered the elaborately carved tomb of a powerful king, his body adorned with a beautifully crafted jade mask, undisturbed for well over 1,000 years before its rediscovery. Only a small handful of authentic Maya painted books survived the centuries following European contact, since the vast majority of these irreplaceable written records were deliberately destroyed, representing an immeasurable loss of historical and cultural knowledge. One of these rare surviving books contains detailed astronomical tables tracking the movement of Venus with remarkable precision, offering modern scholars invaluable direct insight into Maya scientific achievement. The Maya number system operated using a base of 20 rather than the base of 10 more familiar today, and numbers were represented using a simple, elegant combination of dots and bars, along with a distinct symbol representing 0. Maya cities frequently erected tall stone monuments called stelae, carved with images of rulers alongside detailed hieroglyphic inscriptions, recording important dates, achievements, and genealogical information. Certain Maya temple staircases were carved entirely, with hieroglyphic text running along their full length, transforming an entire architectural structure into an enormous, permanent historical inscription. Maya mythology, preserved partly through a later written account composed by the Quiché Maya people, describes an elaborate creation story involving multiple failed attempts by the gods to successfully create humanity before finally succeeding. That same mythological tradition includes the story of a pair of hero twins who outwit the dark lords of the underworld through cleverness and skill, eventually avenging their father and ascending into the sky as the sun and moon. Aztec mythology described the current world as the fifth in a series of ages, each previous age having ended in destruction, with the current sun sustained through continued devotion and ritual observance by human beings. One significant Aztec goddess associated with both earth and death was depicted with a skirt woven from serpents, a striking, powerful image reflecting the Aztec worldview's comfort, holding creation and destruction together within a single deity. Aztec society recognized elite warrior societies, including eagle warriors and jaguar warriors, each associated with the qualities of their namesake animal, distinguished by elaborate ceremonial dress worn during religious and military occasions. The floating garden agricultural technique developed by the Aztecs remains visible in a small surviving section of canals near Mexico City today, a rare living connection to the same farming method that once helped feed the ancient capital. Aztec engineers constructed an aqueduct system carrying fresh water into their island capital from natural springs on the surrounding mainland, a significant engineering achievement supporting the city's enormous population. The great marketplace at Tlatelolco, a sister city eventually absorbed into the greater Aztec capital, was described by early Spanish observers as remarkably well organized, with different sections dedicated to specific categories of goods. Maya trade networks included the exchange of salt, a genuinely valuable commodity in the tropical Mesoamerican climate, produced along the coast and transported inland to communities without direct access to natural salt sources. The Maya built elevated white plastered causeways connecting important buildings and, in some cases, entire neighboring cities, their bright surfaces reportedly visible even by moonlight to travelers moving between sites at night. Maya astronomers paid particularly close attention to the planet Venus, associating its complex movements with warfare, and certain military campaigns were deliberately timed to correspond with specific astronomical events involving the planet. Certain Maya religious practices included ritual bloodletting performed by rulers and nobility as a solemn act of devotion and sacrifice, believed necessary to maintain proper communication with the gods and ancestors. A handful of genuine Aztec pictorial manuscripts survived the conquest period, some created shortly afterwards specifically to help preserve and record Aztec history, tribute records, and daily life for both contemporary and future audiences. Many everyday words used in modern English trace their origin directly back to the Aztec language, including the words for chocolate, tomato, and avocado. Quiet linguistic traces of Aztec influence still spoken constantly around the world today. Maya languages, remarkably, never disappeared, and millions of people throughout the region today continue speaking languages directly descended from the same Maya tongues recorded in ancient hieroglyphic inscriptions. The Aztec emperor's first meeting with the leader of the invading Spanish expedition became one of the most consequential encounters in the history of the Americas, setting in motion the eventual fall of the entire Aztec Empire. An indigenous woman serving as a translator and advisor played a significant, complex role during this same period of contact between Spanish forces and various indigenous groups, her linguistic skill proving pivotal to the unfolding events. Beyond direct military conflict, the arrival of European diseases against which indigenous populations had no prior immunity caused devastating losses throughout the Aztec Empire and the wider region during and after the conquest period. Modern excavation of the Aztec capital's main temple complex, undertaken after its accidental rediscovery during construction work, has revealed thousands of carefully preserved ritual offerings buried within and around the temple's foundations. Historians and archaeologists continue to debate the precise causes behind the decline of the great classical Maya cities, generally favoring a combined explanation involving climate change, warfare, and unsustainable strain on agricultural resources. Maya farming communities practiced a rotational method of clearing and cultivating forest land, allowing sections to lie fallow and regenerate naturally after a period of intensive cultivation. The elaborately carved jade mask discovered within the tomb of the Maya king mentioned earlier remains one of the most celebrated works of art recovered from the ancient Maya world, showcasing extraordinary skill in jade carving. Aztec artisans created intricate mosaic artwork using small pieces of turquoise carefully fitted together, decorating ceremonial masks, shields, and other significant religious and status objects. Among the surviving artifacts recovered from Aztec ceremonial sites, a striking double-headed serpent crafted from wood and covered in turquoise mosaic remains one of the most recognizable and celebrated examples of Aztec craftsmanship known today. Maya astronomers developed methods for predicting eclipses with genuine accuracy, incorporating this sophisticated astronomical knowledge directly into their broader calendar system and religious practice. Every 52 years, when the Aztec solar and sacred calendars finally realigned, an elaborate ceremony called the Binding of the Years was held, involving the extinguishing of all fires throughout the empire, followed by their ceremonial relighting. Maya architects developed a distinctive corbel arch technique, gradually stepping inward layers of stone from either side until they nearly met at the top, allowing for covered interior spaces without the true rounded arch used in many other ancient building traditions. Aztec currency wasn't limited to cacao beans alone, and small quantities of gold dust, cotton cloth, and other standardized valuable goods also functioned as accepted mediums of exchange throughout the empire's extensive marketplaces. Maya city-states occasionally formed temporary alliances against a common rival, though these partnerships tended to remain fragile, shifting readily as political circumstances and ambitions changed over time. The Aztec Empire's tribute system required conquered provinces to supply an extraordinarily wide range of goods to the capital, including food, textiles, precious feathers, and raw materials gathered from across a considerable diversity of regional environments. Maya scribes recorded not only royal history, but also detailed records of astronomical observation, ritual practice, and genealogy, producing a body of written work considerably richer and more varied than popular imagination often assumes. Aztec society maintained organized courts and judges responsible for resolving disputes and administering justice, with different levels of authority handling cases according to their seriousness and significance. The Great Pyramid, at one significant Maya site, remains even now among the tallest pre-Columbian structures ever built in the Americas, its stepped form rising dramatically above the surrounding forest canopy. Aztec society's calendar priests held considerable responsibility for correctly tracking and interpreting the complex ritual calendar, advising on auspicious timing for everything from agricultural activities to major ceremonies and military campaigns. Maya cities were often built around a central plaza, surrounded by temples, palaces, and administrative buildings, forming a ceremonial and political heart around which the broader city gradually developed. Certain Maya rulers commissioned elaborate ball court markers, carved stone or stucco decorations positioned along the sides of the ball court itself, adding further symbolic and artistic significance to the already important ritual game. Aztec society valued skilled craftsmanship considerably, and artisans producing fine featherwork, goldsmithing, or stone carving were organized into their own respected professional groups, sometimes living in dedicated neighborhoods together. The Maya developed an understanding of the lunar cycle sophisticated enough to track and correct for its slight irregularities over long periods, refining their calendar calculations with considerable ongoing precision. Aztec poetry, surviving from before European contact, reveals a philosophical tradition genuinely preoccupied with beauty, memory, and the difficulty of preserving anything of true value against the steady passage of time. Maya kings were often depicted in art wearing elaborate feathered headdresses and jade ornaments, visual markers of their elevated status and close symbolic connection to the divine. The Aztec Empire's military campaigns weren't purely about territorial conquest, and securing captives and tribute often mattered as much strategically as claiming additional farmland or settlements outright. Maya communities maintained careful oral traditions alongside their written records, and storytelling remained an important way of preserving history, mythology, and practical knowledge across generations. Aztec society's calendar included 18 20-day months, followed by a short 5-day period considered unlucky and spiritually precarious, during which certain ordinary activities were traditionally avoided. Maya artisans produced finely painted ceramic vessels, some depicting detailed courtly scenes, mythological narratives, or written inscriptions naming the vessel's original owner or intended purpose. The Aztec practice of formal education included specific schools for commoners focused on practical skills and military training, alongside separate, more elite institutions reserved for children of the nobility. Maya society recognized skilled specialists across many fields, including architects, astronomers, farmers, and warriors, each profession carrying its own particular status and expected responsibilities within the broader community. Aztec religious ceremonies often involve music and dance performed by trained specialists, using instruments including drums, flutes, and rattles to accompany elaborate ritual performances. The Maya civilization's core territory encompassed a remarkably diverse range of environments, from dense lowland rainforest to highland volcanic terrain, and different city-states adapted their architecture and agriculture accordingly. Aztec featherworkers sourced their brilliantly colored materials from tropical birds found in distant regions of the empire, requiring extensive trade networks to supply the raw materials for their most prized ceremonial objects. Maya inscriptions occasionally record specific, datable historical events, including royal births, military victories, and dynastic successions, allowing modern historians to reconstruct surprisingly detailed political timelines for individual cities. The Aztec capital's markets operated according to a careful rotating schedule, with different neighboring towns hosting their own major market days, creating a coordinated regional trading rhythm across the empire. Maya society's calendar priests held responsibilities similar to their Aztec counterparts, carefully tracking auspicious and inauspicious days, believed to influence everything from planting crops to undertaking important journeys. Aztec sculpture often depicted gods and mythological scenes with striking, sometimes deliberately unsettling imagery, reflecting a worldview that held beauty and mortality closely, comfortably intertwined, rather than firmly separated. The Maya ball game's exact rules likely varied somewhat between different cities and eras, though the fundamental goal of keeping a solid rubber ball in continuous play using only permitted parts of the body remained broadly consistent. Aztec long-distance merchants sometimes doubled as informal intelligence gatherers, and the detailed observations they brought back from distant territories proved valuable to imperial, military, and political planning. Maya society's understanding of mathematics extended into practical applications beyond the calendar, supporting architecture, land measurement, and the logistics of managing tribute and resources across individual city-states. Certain Aztec ceremonies involved elaborate public performances, combining religious ritual with theatrical storytelling, dramatizing important myths for large audiences gathered in the capital's central plazas. Maya cities maintained networks of smaller satellite settlements surrounding each major urban center, supporting the larger city with agricultural production and additional labor when needed. The Aztec Empire's relatively rapid collapse following the arrival of Spanish forces contrasted sharply with the much slower, more gradual decline experienced centuries earlier by the classical Maya cities. Maya artistic traditions continued evolving even after the decline of the great classical cities, and later Maya communities in the Yucatan developed their own distinctive regional architectural and artistic styles. Aztec society's approach to warfare included specific rituals and formal declarations, and going to war wasn't undertaken lightly, generally following established diplomatic customs before actual conflict began. The legacy of both the Aztec and Maya civilizations remains vividly present today, not just in physical ruins scattered throughout the region, but in language, cuisine, and cultural traditions still actively practiced by millions of their descendants. And so, tonight, we leave the jungles and lake cities of ancient Mesoamerica, exactly where their own long history so often rests, patient, layered, temples slowly settling back into the green, watchful jungle that first surrounded them. Maya astronomers and priests worked closely together, since accurate astronomical observation directly supported the religious calendar that governed nearly every important decision made within Maya society. Aztec society's central marketplace offered an extraordinary range of goods, including foodstuffs, textiles, pottery, tools, and luxury items, drawing merchants and buyers from across a considerable distance to trade and gather news together. Certain Maya cities built specialized structures believed to have served as royal ball court viewing stands, allowing rulers and nobility to observe the ceremonial game from an elevated, honored position. Aztec religious belief held that maintaining the sun's continued movement across the sky required ongoing devotion and offering, a central anxiety that shaped much of the empire's religious calendar and public ceremony. Maya society developed sophisticated methods for quarrying, transporting, and precisely fitting enormous limestone blocks used in temple and palace construction, achievements accomplished entirely without the use of metal tools or draft animals. Aztec craftsmen working in gold produced intricate jewelry and ceremonial objects using techniques including delicate lost wax casting, achieving remarkably fine detail that deeply impressed early European observers. The Maya recognized specific patron deities associated with different professions, natural forces, and aspects of daily life, each honored through dedicated shrines, offerings, and seasonal ceremonies. Aztec society's calendar priests were responsible for maintaining an accurate, continuous count of days, a role carrying serious responsibility since even small errors could disrupt the timing of major religious observances. Maya trade goods moved along both established overland routes and along coastal and river routes by canoe, allowing goods to travel considerable distances across a landscape often covered in dense, difficult jungle terrain. Aztec featherwork artisans were held in such high regard that they maintained their own specialized guild, passing detailed techniques down carefully through master and apprentice relationships across generations. The Maya concept of time extended well beyond practical calendrical tracking into a deeper philosophical and religious understanding, viewing time itself as a sacred, cyclical force woven directly into the fabric of the universe. Aztec society's tribute lists, carefully recorded in pictorial manuscripts, documented an enormous variety of goods flowing into the capital, offering historians remarkably specific insight into the empire's economic reach and organization. While Maya cities sometimes built defensive walls and fortifications during periods of a heightened conflict between rival states, evidence that peace among neighboring city-states was never entirely guaranteed or permanent. Aztec poetry frequently employed vivid natural imagery, comparing life and beauty to flowers and songs, both cherished precisely because of how briefly they lasted before inevitably fading. Maya artisans crafted finely worked flint and obsidian objects, sometimes shaped into deliberately eccentric, non-functional forms for ceremonial burial purposes, showcasing skilled craftsmanship dedicated purely to symbolic rather than practical use. The Aztec Empire's influence extended culturally and economically well beyond its direct political control, with Aztec goods, language, and customs reaching neighboring regions through extensive trade and diplomatic contact. Maya society's understanding of astronomy included careful tracking of solstices and equinoxes, dates that held genuine agricultural and ceremonial importance, reflected clearly in temple alignment and festival timing throughout the year. Even now, centuries later, the pyramids, ball courts, and quiet plazas, once filled with the sounds of Maya and Aztec daily life, continue standing throughout the region, patient stone witnesses to two of the America's most remarkable ancient civilizations. The same warm jungle air that once drifted across Maya temples and Aztec canals is right now simply resting quietly beneath a dark sky, exactly as it always has. Somewhere a stone stairway is settling further into root and vine, and none of it needs anything from you right now except your rest. You've drifted tonight through pyramids and lake cities, through gods and calendars and quiet jungle ruins, past two remarkable civilizations whose stories still echo across the region today. The whole vast, patient story of the Aztec and Maya, resting now beneath centuries of soft jungle green. Let it hold you now, the way it's always held everything else. Let your breathing settle into its own slow rhythm. There's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to understand tonight. Just this quiet history and this quiet rest drifting gently together in the dark. Sleep well, and I'll see you next time for another 100 facts, drifting softly into sleep.